It's Monday, April 27th.
My thought was, I've been through this before a couple of times, and she has not to this extent. She handled it great. I mean, she's very strong, smart. She got it. She knew what was happening. She listened. I did too.
U.S. President Donald Trump said he wasn't worried as sounds of gunfire rang out during Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Peace talks with the U.S. have come to a halt, and now Iran's top diplomat is in Russia looking for support.
Schultz and Hugh Gardner out.
And it's not the medal they wanted, but the Pat Canadians are coming home with one from the TELUS Cup. Highlights coming up. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. We got a busy week ahead of us. We've got Jeremy Dodge back in the fold, and we've got no snow in the forecast.
Yeah, finally we can say that the story of the day today actually isn't the weather. It's actually going to be a very calm day in the Weather Center. Not a lot of news from me. Enjoy your positive temperatures.
Well, let's get right to news then. We'll start with U.S. President Donald Trump saying he wasn't worried during the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday.
Worried were you that there were going to be injuries?
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
In the interview with 60 Minutes, President Trump also praised First Lady Melania Trump for how she handled the situation. President Trump and the First Lady were rushed to safety on Saturday when gunshots were heard inside the Washington Hilton ballroom. Outside the ballroom, the suspect was arrested after allegedly opening fire near a security checkpoint. Cole Thomas Allen is due in court today. Investigators say it was his parents who called the police.
I'm friends with his dad. They're very solid, peaceful, good people in the community.
Allen is a part-time teacher and video game developer in California. Officials say he sent a manifesto to family members before the attack, saying he planned to target President Trump and administration officials. Allen is due to be formally charged today with using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. More charges are possible. A U.S. state visit from King Charles III and Queen Camilla will go ahead today, despite that shooting raising safety concerns. Buckingham Palace confirms the visit will happen starting in Washington today. There are reports that minor adjustments have been made to minimize risks. The 4-day state visit will begin with the King and Queen being greeted at the White House by the U.S. President and First Lady. They are scheduled to have tea together and then attend a garden party. The state visit will also include events in New York and Virginia. Saskatoon police investigated the city's 6th homicide of the year. Jeremy Dodge, what do we know so far?
Good morning, Daryl. Officers called to the 2200 block of 22nd Street on Friday to a report of an injured person. They found a 55-year-old man who was unresponsive. He was taken to hospital but died shortly after. Saskatoon Police Major Crimes is investigating. Students at the University of Saskatchewan are looking for more supports to deal with affordability concerns. As Keenan Sorokhan reports, it comes as the U of S announced an increase in tuition rates for the fall.
The University of Saskatchewan Students' Union is hearing from more students who are having trouble going further into debt or just barely getting by.
We see a lot of students coming to our food center, getting emergency food hampers, coming to us for other financial supports that we're not always in a position to offer. But we definitely hear those student concerns a little more than we're used to hearing.
Tuition is going up in the fall. On Thursday, the university announced increases to many of its programs for domestic students of about 3%. Engineering was the only major program to see a decrease in tuition rates after plenty of meetings, feedback, and consultations.
It is a long and involved process. It actually begins almost as soon as we've announced for the year ahead.
As part of an agreement with the province, the U of S will receive a boost in funding the next 4 years while capping domestic tuition increases at 3%. But students are looking for more help, with some taking fewer classes to work more.
We definitely see students kind of extending their program, their degree, deferring their graduation just so that they can make ends meet.
The university is working on more than just scholarships and bursaries. One initiative is Open Educational Resources, which are eliminating the need for costly textbooks in some lecture halls.
We think about how can we help the most vulnerable and the most impacted by these tuition increases?
But Dice says students should have a seat at the table for future funding agreements, and he's calling on the province to eliminate provincial interest on student loans, something it says it isn't considering right now, with students eligible for up to $24,000 in tax credits if they stay in Saskatchewan after their studies, as well as the many grants, scholarships, and student aid the province says it funds every year. Keenan Sora-Khan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Daryl, back to you with a look at how we might be flying in the near future.
Jeremy, Air Canada is now the first Canadian airline to offer lie flat seats on smaller aircrafts. The airline says it now has 30 new single-aisle planes that will come with 14 lie flat seats. Passengers will be able to recline 180 degrees to fully horizontal beds. The seats will be offered in signature class. These new aircraft will also be capable of flying longer routes. The airline says the planes will soon be in use across the Atlantic from Montreal and Toronto and will become a staple on key North American transcontinental markets. Following countries like Australia and Brazil, Manitoba's premier says government in his province will ban children from using social media and AI chatbots. Premier Wab Kinew says the platforms contribute to anxiety and depression and hurt young people's development. He didn't share details of the plan. Earlier this month, Culture Minister Mark Miller said Ottawa is seriously considering a social media ban for kids. And this may very well be the last year Manitobans adjust their clocks with the changing of the season.
The idea of us changing the clocks twice a year, I think that day is past. We're in Manitoba almost certainly at the end of that. We are going to do a consultation over the next few months to get people's perspective.
Premier Wab Kinew says the government wants to understand whether Manitobans prefer standard or daylight saving time. He indicated he first wants people to understand the health implications of both. Kinew added a decision could be coming as soon as this fall. This comes after Alberta tabled legislation to end twice-a-year time change, potentially setting the stage for what's been dubbed a prairie time zone. Tampa Bay has tied its series with the Montreal Canadiens with a 3-2 thrilling overtime win in Game 4.
Back out from Moser toward the net.
Said overtime wasn't overtime. It was sudden death, though. Brendan Hagel gave the Lightning the lead with just over 4 minutes left in the game. The series now tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 happens Wednesday in Tampa. This is the one that went to overtime. The Edmonton Oilers now on the brink of elimination after a 4-3 loss on Game 4. Sunday night, Ryan Poehling's controversial goal, 2:29 into overtime, lifted the Anaheim Ducks to a 4-3 victory. Controversial, I guess, only if you're an Oilers fan. That puck is clearly in. Give them a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. It was declared a goal after extensive video review. Game 5 goes tomorrow night in Edmonton. So now you got to check your text messages, Kaylee, and see what your Oiler-loving husband has to say about that one.
Yeah, he's not awake yet, but I can't imagine he's going to be happy when he does wake up. So.
I'm still not happy about the goal that was not allowed in game 5 or whatever that was in 2004 when the Flames won the Cup. Anyways, I'll digress. Let's get to a contest.
All right. Well, wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is savings. Head to the contest page at CTVSaskatoon.ca or CTVRegina.ca or scan that QR code popping up on your screen. Enter savings with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, let's turn our attention out to the Weather Center. Last week, you'll probably remember we had so much to talk about. We had so many watches and warnings in effect. We had that precipitation on the way. We were talking about really high wind speeds. Today, we are all allowed to collectively take a breath. The precipitation has, for the most part, moved out of the province. Down in the south, at least, we are going to be seeing just a little bit of flurries way up north today. Other than that, it's going to be a really beautiful day in Saskatchewan. -8 to wake us up in Regina. We do have some clouds, as you can see out on our sky cam there. Winds are very calm to start the day, 7 kilometers per hour. We are going to be seeing a slight increase this afternoon, but only up to about 20 kilometers per hour. So it's not really going to be a windy day at all. -3 to wake us up in Saskatoon. We do see a lot of snow out on that sky cam, not falling actively, but everything that's on the ground, we could be seeing that melt starting once again for your day today in the afternoon. 11 kilometers per hour for those winds right now. Radar and satellite showing that precipitation that the southeast corner saw late last night in the evening. That has now moved out of the province. We are taking a look at a current picture out there right now. You barely see anything. There's just a couple spots up north, but still not a lot of precipitation falling right now. Into the afternoon hours, you do see a little bit more popping up there. All those spots in a little bit of central and mainly northern Saskatchewan there. Again, though, we're not talking about a whole lot of precipitation today. There's not going to be any large accumulations. Overnight, we do see a lot of that disappearing, just a lot of cloud cover up north. Into tomorrow afternoon, we see some more green popping up. That indicates some rain showers. Very light drizzle is on the way. It should be disappearing by those overnight hours, so no worries there. Today's forecast showing a lot of temperatures in the positives. 2 degrees for Prince Albert, about 4 degrees for the Battleford, Saskatoon, Yorkton, Moose Jaw. 3 degrees expected for Swift Current, Regina, 6 degrees for Weyburn, and 7 degrees for Estevan. 7-day forecast looking really nice. We do have a high expected tomorrow of about 8 degrees, 10 degrees by Wednesday, 13 by Thursday, and then 19 by Friday. You see that rain icon. Right now, we're tracking that at about a 40% chance of seeing some drizzle, but you will also be seeing that sunshine. No worries there. 13 degrees by Saturday and 14 degrees by Sunday. In Saskatoon, 6 degrees tomorrow, up to 10 degrees by Wednesday. Seeing that temperature continue to climb by Thursday, 14 degrees, 19 degrees by Friday. Sunday, you see that rain icon there. Again, we're expecting that to be falling in the morning hours, pushing away for the afternoon.
For many Coloradoans, dogs are family.
11 is an 11-year-old beagle.
Watching family grow older is hard.
Our dogs are our family members.
It's why Jordy Hull and his wife Jen got their Beagle L involved in the brain health study at CSU.
We're able to use antibodies to label different things in the brain.
Students and staff, like Carolyn Dopkins and Associate Professor Julie Moreno, are studying how dogs' brains change both during and after life.
We needed to determine that the dog's brain, as it aged, did indeed look like a human brain. And we were able to discover that it did, and it was very similar to humans. You can see here there's this big opening. Normally, it wouldn't be that big. And one of the reasons it is because the dog had cognitive decline.
Julie says it's just faster to study dogs over people.
The acceleration of the dog's life helps us, because in humans, you'd have to study them for decades.
Just like us, cognitive decline can be common in dogs.
About 30% of dogs over the age of 12 will have cognitive decline.
So many Coloradoans have been impacted by dementia or Alzheimer's.
I lost my dad right before starting at CSU to frontotemporal dementia, which is similar to Alzheimer's but affects younger people in a different part of the brain.
There's still a lot of unknowns when it comes to these diseases.
My grandfather had dementia and passed only maybe a year ago from it, and seeing the decline was obviously really sad.
It's science that's needed to help our entire families.
Helping all these families, you know, both furry and non-furry, stick together is a really good feeling.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, this zebra is getting ready for the pitch. The Toronto Zoo shared this video on social media to count down to the FIFA World Cup. We're now less than 50 days away from the start of the World Cup in Toronto. So Obi the zebra decided to get some practice in. Training camp is officially underway at the zoo.
Usually the referees don't get to play, so this is nice. Took Kaylee a second.
No, it's because I was watching the video, just being like, "Wow, that zebra is playing soccer," and then I wasn't listening.
Where does he keep the yellow and red cards?
I have gotten really good on the past 5 years of tuning Daryl out. I have that selective hearing that I'm like, "Oh, Daryl made a joke." I don't know.
Oh, great! Good time for our question of the day.
So today is National Gummy Bears Day. So we're asking you kind of a two-sided question today. In your opinion, what is the best candy and what is the worst candy? Because I want to compare your taste.
Okay, so Jeremy, you go first, and she's probably not listening to me anyway.
I have been on, for like the past year, I've been addicted to peanut butter O. Henry chocolate bars. So that's my number one. And probably the worst, I used to like it as a kid, but black licorice these days just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But weren't you okay on the tiger ice cream?
Yeah, so am I, but I don't like black licorice solo either.
Yeah, there's a mix there with the orange that
it breaks my brain that you. Okay, what's yours?
I would love to tell you. We don't have any time. Let's get the viewers' answers. Scan the QR code. Text 10400. We're back right after this.
A new poll from the Angus Reid Institute suggests Canadians are giving Prime Minister Mark Carney's government a passing grade in its first year when it comes to international relations, but it has failed to meet expectations on affordability. The poll asked 2,013 Canadians a series of questions about the government's performance since it won last April. The number one priority for 52% of the respondents: reducing the cost of living. The Bank of Canada will share how it's thinking about price pressures from the Iran war on Wednesday when it publishes a new monetary policy report and makes its next interest rate decision. The central bank has held steady for the last three decisions, and the financial market odds are for another rate hold, standing at about 93%. Shares in semiconductor designer Qualcomm surging in pre-market after a tech analyst said the company is partnering with OpenAI to develop smartphone processors. In a post on X, TF International Securities analyst Ming-Chi Kuo said OpenAI is working with San Diego-based Qualcomm as part of a potential move into developing hardware. Those are your morning business headlines for B&M Bloomberg. I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, let's head out and check in with Mike Siona now, who is smiling wide this morning. Mike, why's that?
Well, because it's Smile Cookie Week, obviously, Jeremy Dodge. And I'm here with Camille Barzil, the owner of the Tim Hortons, which we find ourselves in at an undisclosed Tim Hortons. We're not going to tell everybody. Yeah, we are. We're at 51st Street here this morning. So come down, grab a cup of coffee, and grab a Smile Cookie. That's what it's all about this week. Tell us about this year's campaign.
Okay, so this year's campaign, we are selling cookies for $2 a cookie or $12 for $24. We will be supporting Hope's Homes and Roadways Literacy. We are very, very excited for this campaign. Every dollar stays in your community with these charities. We love it. Every cookie is decorated by hand with love, so they're all different. So please come out, buy one, and see which one you get.
No doubt, and it's super cool. It is a cross-country initiative, but different regional partnerships. So here in Saskatoon and in Martinsville, as you mentioned, Roadways Literacy Academy and Hope's Home. In Regina, be somebody different. In other parts of Saskatchewan and the country, different as well. But how much money was raised first here in this region last year and then nationally, if you have those numbers?
Yes, in Saskatoon last year, we raised $172,000. So we're looking to meet or break that. And nationally, we were able to raise over $22.6 million. So that's one of our highest years ever. So we're really, really proud.
That is absolutely incredible. That is a lot of smiles and eyes that get piped in the back here. But it must be one of those labors of love for you guys at Tim Hortons, right? To be able to help Hope this way?
It really is. It's a really exciting time of year. We have an amazing team who works on it diligently, and we also have volunteers, typically from the charity, but also people from the community who come in and give us a hand. And so it's just a really fun week. There's lots of buzz about it, and we hope to see lots of folks down here.
Fantastic. Launched this morning. You have until Sunday to come. Again, $2 a cookie or that great deal, 12 for $24.
All right, Mike, Very tasty. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing more after 7 o'clock.
Here's a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -8, -3 through Saskatoon, so a cooler start to the day. However, by lunchtime, both cities should have cracked into those positive temperatures. That would be 1 degree for Regina and about 2 degrees for Saskatoon. Cloud cover could be increasing by the final bell. 3 degrees for Regina this afternoon and 4 degrees for Saskatoon. Both cities enjoying very low wind speeds this afternoon. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price today is $169.9. That is up. The lowest you might find is $154.9. In Saskatoon, the average price $161.4. You might find it for as low as $158.3. Here's a look at those farm markets today. The street price of canola is $678.23 per ton. The futures price $729.80 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and Red Spring wheat $291.95 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is trending up this morning. It's at 73.11 cents US. In about 10 minutes, how a research study in Saskatoon could help diagnose Parkinson's earlier. Stay with us.
Say good morning. It is 6:30. Prime Minister Mark Carney's new advisory committee on Canada-U.S. economic relations will meet for the first time today. The committee will be led by Dominic LeBlanc, the minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade. It consists of 24 CEOs, former politicians and business leaders. The government says the committee will look at developing strategies for how Canada should approach its economic relationship with the Americans. Ahead of tomorrow's spring economic update, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling on the Liberals to get the deficit under control.
As Conservatives is to cut waste and bring down the cost of government so that we can lower the cost of living.
Poilievre is demanding the Liberals cap the federal deficit at $31 billion. How? Well, by scrapping projects such as a proposed high-speed rail line and the gun buyback program. Over the weekend, Poilievre also called on the Liberals to suspend all federal fuel taxes for the rest of the year. A state funeral was held over the weekend for a former Saskatchewan Lieutenant Governor. Vaughn Solomon Schofield died after a short illness at the age of 82. A service was held at Living Hope Alliance Church in Regina on Saturday. She served as Saskatchewan's 21st Lieutenant Governor from 2012 to 2018. Before that, she was the provincial chair of the Canadian Forces Liaison Council and served as honorary colonel for the 10th Field Artillery Regiment as well.
It has been overwhelming, but such a relief to have the protocol office and the Lieutenant Governor's office take this on, and it absolutely exceeded all of my and my family's expectations, the way that they put this together, and I'm kind of speechless. It's going to take a little while to absorb it.
In 2013, she established the LG's military service pin, which has been awarded to more than 8,000 active or former military members. A year after the Holy Rosary School was demolished in Regina, community members gathered to create an ideas jam in what to do next with the land. Vision boards were placed around Regina Early Learning Center, where members could place stickers on those they preferred. The Cathedral neighborhood looks to use a mix of ingredients, including innovation, comfort, and safety to access nature.
Typically in processes like this, the City of Regina would run an exercise like this. This park in particular is not within the budget in the next budget cycle. There are no expectations for park upgrades. So the community, with the loss of the Holy Rosary School and the playground there, that was a real magnet for the community. So with that loss, we decided we'd take matters into our own hands and develop a community vision for the city parcel that is just next door to it.
They will bring forward the Cathedral Arts Festival this spring, a vision for what they want to happen. The Regina Pat Canadians are bringing home a bronze medal from the 2026 TELUS Cup.
And Hugh and Gardner out still, scored!
Maddox Schultz led the way with 2 goals and 2 assists as the Pat Seas beat Kelowna 6-2. Malachi Martin had a goal and 3 assists as well in the win. Quebec team, the Chevalier, took gold in the tournament. A local powerlifting meet showcased the skills of 2 athletes in their 80s. Hallie Mandrick was there.
The Mackey Physiotherapy Powerlifting Meet proved that the sport is truly for all ages.
They go, wow, look at that really old dude, he's doing it. And I think maybe in their minds it's like, if he can do it, I can do it till I'm 80. So I'm planning on doing this till I'm 100.
89-year-old Joyce Hansen and 80-year-old Barry Gay took the event as an opportunity to showcase the hard work they've each been putting in. Both Gay and Hansen say powerlifting has become an important tool to stay healthy as they get older.
As you age, you lose everything. So I work out to maintain my mobility, my flexibility, and probably the most important thing as you age is your balance. As well as having severe osteoporosis, I have increased my bone mass to the point where I don't need medications.
The event organizer says powerlifters like Hansen and Gay are proof that the sport is for everyone.
It's not just a sport for young people. I think it's so important to show that not only you can, but that maybe you should, even if it's not on the platform at an event like this, but that you can still go into the gym, lift weights, and get stronger. And I think what we have today is just a perfect example of that.
While the impact on physical health is an important aspect to the sport, Gay says powerlifting has benefited his mental health as well.
And you go, oh my gosh, this is not going to move. It's not going to lift. And then it moves a fraction of an inch. And you go, maybe it's going to move. And you keep pushing. You push harder and push harder and push harder. And it gets to the top and you get the okay. And then you did it. And just go, I did it. It usually brings tears to my eyes.
Hansen says she's learned a lot since taking up the sport 12 years ago and shared some advice for anyone looking to stay healthy as they get older.
Just get up and move, whatever it is. If you just want to walk, walk. If you want to lift some weights, lift weights. Just move.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Kayleen, we had a bunch of great pictures come in last week. This one from Denise of a pup in a puddle just watching the sunset.
Oh, there's going to be lots of puddles for that pup to be enjoying in the coming days as we see that melt happening too.
Lots of dog washes getting a lot of business.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's turn our attention over to the weather center here. Not a bad start to the day. It is a little bit chilly out there to start though. Still obviously seeing a lot of that snow from that storm we saw last week and into the weekend a little bit. Regina looking a little bit nicer. We saw some nicer temperatures yesterday, so that spring melt is on. Let's turn our attention to these current temperatures, which, as I mentioned, they still are a little bit chilly to start the day. We are below the seasonal average today. That pink color up north indicating colder temperatures. We are even seeing some of that down through parts of the southwest corner of the province. It would be nicer to see a light blue color on the screen, or even potentially some green to indicate some nicer temperatures. But again, cooler start to the day. -6 in Stony Rapids, -8 in La Ronge, -6 in Nipawin, and -4 in Melfort. Down in the south, more of the same, -8 in Moose Jaw. So definitely grab a jacket on your way out the door. -8 in Weyburn, -5 in Estevan, and -6 through East End this hour. Today's forecast looking, well, better than the weekend for many places, but still below that average. Again, the average we're looking at for this time of year is about between 14 to 15 degrees in a lot of places in the province. So chilly for the afternoon, but at least we're seeing positive temperatures. 2 degrees for Prince Albert with that cloud cover today. The Battleford's up to 4 degrees, also sharing that temperature of 4 degrees. We're expecting Saskatoon, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. Swift Current about 3 degrees, and Weyburn about 6 degrees. Regina 3, and Estevan 7 degrees. We're seeing some clouds to start the day, but again, those are going to be increasing throughout the afternoon as well. What is definitely an improvement from last week is those wind speeds. The wind speeds are a lot lower than what we were seeing last week and throughout parts of the weekend as well. We do see a little bit stronger of those gusts in the morning hours and then kind of tapering off in the southeast corner of the province throughout the afternoon. In terms of the 5-day forecast, again, definitely an improvement. We're really seeing those temperatures going to be on a steady incline this week. 8 degrees tomorrow for Regina, about 10 degrees by Wednesday, 13 degrees by Thursday, and you do see that rain icon on Friday with that high of 19 degrees. Not expecting to be your whole day, and right now we're tracking it at about a 40% chance of seeing that rain falling. 6 degrees for Saskatoon tomorrow, up to 10 by Wednesday, 14 degrees by Thursday, and 19 degrees by Friday.
Researchers at the University of Saskatchewan, looking at Parkinson's disease, have made a couple of discoveries into maybe how the disease is diagnosed. So I'm joined now by Dr. Chris Phoenix, Associate Professor of Chemistry and one of the researchers on this. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Chris, let's talk about Parkinson's first off. What is it, and how prevalent is it in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, so it's a neurodegenerative disease, primarily a movement disorder issue. And there's about 5,000 patients in Saskatchewan who have Parkinson's. It's the second most prevalent neurodegenerative disease, but numbers are increasing, I think, primarily because people are living longer, and it's one of the fastest growing diseases, neurodegenerative diseases there. So quite an important issue.
Okay, so your project is looking at diagnosing, right? So how important is it an early and accurate diagnosis of Parkinson's?
Yeah, so what we're looking at is trying to detect the activity of an enzyme, which enzymes are little molecular machines that conduct chemical reactions in cells, and this activity decreases in a difficult to treat, difficult to manage form of Parkinson's. So being able to identify those patients early on is really important to help physicians start those therapies early and then manage the disease more effectively. So it's also a very rapid method that can be used and, on a simple blood test. So we're quite excited about its potential to be used in Parkinson's disease.
Okay, I understand this is a truly made in Saskatchewan project as well?
Yeah. The great thing about being a chemist is, I have projects on imaging biological processes in canola, some cancer projects in Parkinson's. So we make chemical tools to study biological processes in all sorts of different disease settings. And these compounds were indeed, I'm a Southeast Saskatchewan boy from Arcola, Saskatchewan. And so I'm very proud to say these were invented in Saskatchewan, and we're doing all the clinical translation right here in Saskatchewan, working with the Saskatchewan Movement Disorders Program here in Saskatoon.
Okay, so what's next for this then? Yeah. How soon can we start putting this into use, maybe?
Yeah, so we're working with Dr. Eric Noyes and Alex Rajput, and I'll point out that there's 5,000 patients in Saskatchewan with PD and only 2 movement disorder specialists. So that's creates a lot of sort of demand on the system. But we're going to be starting in hopefully Parkinson's patients this summer. So, we're going to need some additional funding for it, but probably in the next 3 to 5 years. And I will say that our first human studies that we're doing look also very promising. So it's very gratifying as a chemist to invent something and actually, especially with an important application, and see it being translated into the clinic is really, really, really gratifying and exciting for us.
All right. Now, I have a special appreciation for this. My dear Uncle Carmen suffered from Parkinson's, and ultimately we lost him way earlier than we would have liked. So best of luck and good work. Chris Phoenix, U of S Chem Prof and researcher on a potential breakthrough in Parkinson's disease. We love to see it. Keep up the good work.
Thanks very much, Jeremy. Have a great day.
Matt Scooby in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Talladega. How about Carson Hocevar picks up his first career series victory, and check out the celebration. Sitting on the door, steering the car down the front stretch to salute the fans. A true don't try this at home kids moment. Never before seen in NASCAR, and maybe never again. The 23-year-old then sticks his car against the wall, does a little burnout, still hanging out the side of the car. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we have a trio of NBA playoff games. First up, the Pistons take on the Magic, then the Thunder face the Suns. Later, the Timberwolves square off with the Nuggets. A whole lot of Canadian content for those games. It all begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Listen, Janelle, I know that one thing I know about you is that you don't have a lot of rhythm. So you're salsa dancing this morning. Are you about to prove me wrong?
I don't know if I'm going to prove you wrong, but I'll try my best, Daryl. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm down at Salsa Colada here this morning. I've got Juliana and Kaysen here with me this morning, and we are learning all about our salsa dancing here. So let's start with you, because you have all of this. This is all your space. Tell me a little bit about how you got started.
Well, hi. My name is Juliana Qureshi, and I am from El Salvador. So I came to Canada in 1991 at a time when there was absolutely no salsa culture in Canada. So I pretty much, had to make do with what I knew and what I had and my love for my country. So then I just started dancing to any song, because we didn't have any salsa music either. And then slowly I started teaching, and my background is ballet. So I started teaching salsa though, and then it just kind of grew from there. So now we've had Salsa Colada Studios since 2001, and then I've been here at the Regina Performing Arts since 2017.
Wow. Okay, so a beautiful space, tons of fun classes. We've got one of your lovely dancers here with us. Let's talk about those classes. Who are they for? Can beginners join? What does that look like?
Well, my salsa classes have evolved. They used to be for children and adults, and now it has pretty much evolved for performers, but mostly beginners. So beginners salsa dancing is the bulk of my classes, and in my classes we teach a combo. So we teach salsa, bachata, and cha-cha, and we break down the steps to the point where even if you have zero experience, you would feel at home.
Okay, well, that's great news for me because I have zero experience, but I'm going to get working over here, and I'm coming back to impress you, Daryl.
All right, it's time for your Monday morning whether or not. Your question today is, what is the largest hailstone that was ever recorded? Was it half a pound? Was it 1 pound? Was it 1.75 pounds? Was it 2.25 pounds? Or was it 3.0 pounds?
I enjoyed that at the outset, Jeremy gave a deep sigh.
Yeah, he's like, what's going to be asked today?
Sorry, I've been off for a few days. I usually don't measure, we usually measure hailstones in relation to like loonies,
coins.
Right?
Yeah,
not
coins.
I'm gonna go with 1.75. That seems immense.
Right.
Okay, and I don't want to match you, so I'm going to go a little heavier. I'm going to go 2.25.
All right, the correct answer is D. It is 2.25 pounds. A stone weighing 2.25 pounds fell in Bangladesh on April 14th, 1986. Stones were the size of small pumpkins. 92 people were killed in this storm. So this is your reminder that weather can be deadly.
Oh, boy. Happy Monday.
It's April 27th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Heidi. Happy 25th birthday. Here's to another year of wonderful memories. We hope your day was awesome. Also celebrating over the weekend was Shelly. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy being 1 year older. This shout out coming from your Uncle Dave and Auntie Gina. Another belated happy birthday wish going out to Kimberly. She was celebrating yesterday. We hope it was the best birthday yet. A lot of love coming your way from your mom and dad. And another belated happy birthday going out to Zara. She turned 26 years old over the weekend. You have a whole lot of love coming your way from your whole family. Have a great year. And for today, a big happy birthday going out to Marie Hart. It's her 96th birthday. We hope it's a great day for you, Marie. Enjoy your special day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, Chase, what are you giving away this week?
It's our last week to get in for those Megan Maroney tickets. We want to fly out to Toronto for that show, set you up with some cash, hotels, flights, all could be yours. And very easy, just have to listen to us for 10 consecutive minutes with the iHeart Radio app. So 3 songs essentially, and you are in. Just make sure that you are signed in when you're listening to that. Also want to hear from you this morning. You can text over 54321. If your partner is away, what is your go-to meal? I think we all have those specific meals that we only eat, but when they are away. My wife is off for some business, off for some work this week, so it's going to be deer. That's the menu for the household the entire time. What's it for you? You can text over 54321.
You will not be so nice when we beat you.
That's not happening.
See you in final.
Heated Rivalry has been recognized with a Peabody Award. The award was for promoting a non-toxic side of masculinity. Jurors say the show inspired gay athletes to come out and made arguably the biggest cultural impact in television. The show is created by a Montreal director and screenwriter and is based on a series of novels by a Halifax author. All right, JD, a week off. You gotta kick off some dust and give us a sidebar.
Okay. Give me a second. I gotta find out where we are here. Okay. Let's see here. Peabody, yeah. Oh, yeah, they did really well. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna get to the most patient pup the internet has ever seen.
Gentle. Gentle. Gentle.
And I thank everyone for being patient while I got my bearings. But this is Nellie the Golden, all about slow and steady when it comes to snacks. Well, she takes her darn time with this thing right in front of her face. Finally, she did get to enjoy it.
I'm not even as patient as that pup.
No.
You have a golden.
No.
Would Disco do this?
Yeah, I mean, there'd be a lot more like try to nibble, right, than that, but that's okay. We all know that maple syrup is delicious, but did you know that it was also beautiful? Probably seen this before. This has been done a number of times, a number of ways. This is what maple syrup looks like under a microscope.
Ah, I've never seen this. Wow.
A kaleidoscope of colors. I love it.
Hook it to my veins. There you go.
Gorgeous, sugary. Now I want pancakes.
Until you said sugary, I was like, that's like kind of like our weather this week. We're going to have your forecast coming up after this. Stay with us. It's Monday, April 27th.
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
U.S. President Donald Trump speaks with 60 Minutes hours after shots were fired at a Secret Service agent at this weekend's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Peace talks with the U.S. have come to a halt, and now Iran's top diplomat is in Russia looking for support.
These women out here playing are awesome. Like, they don't just play football. They're moms, they're students, they're people that work in different professions. So they really deserve to have some fans in the stands and people out there cheering for them.
And Saskatoon beat Regina in the first women's football matchup of the year. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Keeleen. Happy Monday.
Before we come on camera, we're always doing something goofy, like playing instruments. This time she's like, do the wave, and then she yelled at me.
Well, I said, do the wave with me, and then you went the other way.
We had a good middle wave going.
And that wasn't, we'll try again next hour.
Or maybe not.
It's a Monday.
7:01. Let's get to news. U.S. President Donald Trump says he wasn't worried during the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday.
how worried were you that there were going to be injuries?
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
In the interview with 60 Minutes, President Trump also praised First Lady Melania Trump for her bravery. They were rushed to safety on Saturday when gunshots were heard inside the Washington Hilton ballroom. Outside, the suspect was arrested after allegedly opening fire near a security checkpoint. Cole Thomas Allen is due in court today. Investigators say it was his parents who called the police.
The parents I'm friends with. I'm friends with his dad. They're very solid, peaceful, good people in the community.
Allen is a part-time teacher and video game developer from California. Officials say he sent a manifesto to family members before the attack saying he planned to target the president and administration officials. Allen is due to be formally charged today with a number of offenses, more charges even possible than that. King Charles is heading to the U.S. for what's shaping up to be the most high-profile trip of his reign so far, with a focus on strengthening the long-standing relationship between the two countries. James Longman reports.
The King and Queen are coming to America. Undeterred by Saturday night shooting, they're here to mend Britain's relationship with President Trump. He's lashed out repeatedly at the UK for not joining the war in Iran. So Britain is on a transatlantic charm offensive.
It comes at a time when the world is, well, in a very tricky place. He's basically here to confirm the enduring links between Britain and America, and to show that there is close ties between the two countries, but more importantly, to mark a really significant milestone in the history of the United States of America.
And it's not just the war that looms over this trip, but the Epstein scandal and the two active UK police investigations into the King's brother, disgraced Andrew, and Britain's former ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Both have denied wrongdoing and have not been charged. The president's past comments on Harry and Meghan also threatened to open up deep wounds, recently dismissing remarks from the prince after he visited Ukraine, saying he's not speaking for the UK. But Sunday, Trump kept the tone positive.
He's a friend of mine for a long time, so he's coming and we're going to have a great time, and he represents his nation like nobody else can do it.
On the agenda today, tea with the Trumps, and tomorrow the King will address Congress before a state dinner at the White House. Their Majesties are here to mark America's 250th birthday. It echoes a visit Queen Elizabeth made on the 200th anniversary of independence. The Trumps are hosting the royals after enjoying two state visits to the UK, one with Charles and the other with his mother.
Saskatoon police investigating that city's 6th homicide of the year. Jeremy Dodge, what do we know so far?
Well, Daryl, officers were called to the 2200 block of 22nd Street on Friday. Report of an injured person. They found a 55-year-old man who was unresponsive. He was taken to hospital but died shortly after. Saskatoon Police Major Crimes is investigating. Well, the Mackey Physiotherapy Powerlifting Meet proved that the sport is truly for all ages on the weekend. 89-year-old Joyce Hanson, 80-year-old Barry Gay took the event as an opportunity to showcase the hard work they've each been putting in. Both Gay and Hanson say powerlifting has become an important tool to stay healthy as they get older.
As you age, you lose everything. So I work out to maintain my mobility, my flexibility, and probably the most important thing as you age is your balance. As well as having severe osteoporosis, I have increased my bone mass to the point where I don't need medications.
Hanson has been powerlifting for 12 years. First got into the sport thanks to her daughter and granddaughter. Well, Daryl, dozens of car enthusiasts right across the province in Regina on the weekend.
Yeah, the Majestics Car Show happened here in the Queen City. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. First, let's get to time change. This very well may be the last time the Manitobans have to do it.
The idea of us changing the clocks twice a year, I think that day is past. We're in Manitoba almost certainly at the end of that. We are going to do a consultation over the next few months to get people's perspective.
Premier Wabkanu says the government wants to understand whether Manitobans prefer standard or daylight saving time. He indicated he first wants people to understand the health implications of either option. Canoe added a decision could be coming as soon as this fall. This comes after Alberta tabled legislation to end time change there. It was a busy weekend in the NHL playoffs with 3 Canadian teams right in the mix, some gaining momentum at the perfect time while others felt the pressure of a tightening series. The Anaheim Ducks have pushed Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers to the brink of a first-round exit after a 4-3 win in Game 4. Meanwhile, the Carolina Hurricanes are the top-seeded team in the East. They knocked out the Ottawa Senators, taking their series 4 games straight. And in a nail-biter, the Tampa Bay Lightning evened up things with the Montreal Canadiens, sending that series back to Tampa for Game 5 on Wednesday with that series tied. Maybe you're an Oilers fan, you're a little sad this morning about your team's defeat. You could enter this contest and feel a little bit better, Kayleen.
That's right. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is savings. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan this QR code popping up on your screen. Enter savings with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union and Affinity for You. And just a reminder, again, you're going to the website to enter this. We've already gotten some texts so far this morning. You're not getting entered if you text us. We want everybody to have their chance to win this. So head to the contest page. If you're waking up with us in Regina this morning, we're at -4. We do have just a few clouds to start the day. We are expecting the cloud cover to be increasing slightly throughout the afternoon today. Winds are very calm right now, 11 kilometers per hour. And in Saskatoon, -3. We do have, again, quite a bit of cloud cover to start the day. Winds right now coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. And we also see a bit more of the snow on the ground through Saskatoon. We didn't see as much of a melt yesterday with those temperatures. We're expecting that to be happening today, so just wait for that. Radar and satellite showing where we saw the last little bit of that weekend precipitation. It was down in the southeast corner for the most part with some snow through areas around Estevan. We also saw some in areas between Prince Albert and Saskatoon, so that's where roads could be partially covered this morning. But the futurecast, starting with the current conditions out there, we're really not seeing a lot in terms of precipitation. Again, just seeing more of that cloud cover through central and northern Saskatchewan to start the day. Into the afternoon, again, we're seeing that cloud cover increase down through areas around Regina, the Parkland region. And as we head into tomorrow, this is about 1:15 a.m. Things are looking pretty good. Some spots where we're seeing clear skies overnight. We are seeing some more precipitation popping up tomorrow afternoon. However, it's not going to be sticking around very long, and we're not really going to be seeing a lot of those flurries. It's mainly going to be rain falling tomorrow and clearing overnight. Here's a look at today's temperatures. They are in the positives. However, they are below that seasonal average. To put this into perspective for you, we're typically looking for temperatures around 14 to 15 degrees this time of year. So better than what we were seeing last week with all those negative temperatures. We don't have anything to complain about necessarily. We're still going to be seeing a melt. 4 degrees for the Battleford, Saskatoon, Yorkton, Moose Jaw. 3 degrees expected for Swift Current and Regina. About 6 degrees for Weyburn, 7 degrees for Estevan. So again, seeing the warmest temperatures down through the southeast corner of the province today. And we're going to start to see those temperatures on a pretty steady incline until Friday when we see 19 degrees with the chance of rain falling in Regina. Right now, that chance is sitting at about 40% of seeing some of that rain, but you'll also be seeing a little bit of that sunshine to enjoy that 19-degree temperature. 13 degrees by Saturday, 14 degrees by Sunday. In Saskatoon, again, seeing that steady incline until Friday with that high of 19 degrees as well with a mix of sun and cloud, dropping slightly on Saturday to 13 degrees. And Sunday, we have a chance of some rain in the morning hours, pushing away for the afternoon. Here's a look at your rural forecast today. We're seeing more cloud cover through central and northern Saskatchewan. Lloydminster at 5 degrees with that cloud cover. 2 degrees for Spiritwood, 1 degree for Melfort and Wynyard, and 4 degrees for Outlook with a little bit more sunshine there. More sunshine also down towards the south. 4 degrees in East End, 6 degrees this afternoon for Maple Creek, 3 degrees for Rockland, 3 degrees for Pilot Butte, and 7 degrees this afternoon for Carlisle. Let's take a look at Edom, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 3 degrees this afternoon afternoon. Sun and clouds throughout the day, and winds very calm today, only coming in up to about 15 kilometers per hour.
In Canada, Tim Hortons is synonymous with coffee. And in Saskatchewan, Mike Siona is synonymous with morning fun. So what happens when you mix the two? Let's find out, Mike.
Well, Smile Cookies obviously happen. Jeremy Dodge, thanks very much. We are down here at Tim Hortons talking all about Smile Cookie. It's the 30th year that we have had Smile Cookies in this country, and here in Saskatoon and Martensville. Hope's Home, one of the two benefactors here for this campaign, Roadways Literacy Academy, obviously the other one. But we're talking about Hope's Home right now with Sash Broda. Give us a sense of, first and foremost, just how impactful this Smile Cookie program is for you guys.
Yeah, this is the third year that we have been fortunate to partner with Tim Hortons stores in Saskatoon, and this year we've added on Martensville. And this campaign, I mean, it's huge for awareness for Hope's Home, for us to get the name of what we do out there, but also the impact of the cookies. I mean, last year, 86,000 raised for Hope's Home. Amazing, just across the city. Like, the cookies, there's calorie free at this point because it's all for charity, and it's just a great campaign to engage the whole community.
Actual calorie count may vary. Speaking of, by the way, that getting the word out, let's get the word out. What does Hope's Home do for somebody who maybe has flipped on the TV for the first time and has never heard of you guys?
Yeah, Hope's Home provides care for kids with complex medical needs, and our main focus in what we do is provide medical childcare centers. So any kids with medical complexities can't typically go to the average childcare center. They often have to stay at home. Mom or dad quits their job. They become a nurse and a therapist and all of those things on top of just being a parent. And we're a place where those kids can have a space where they can be around other kids, typical and medical in one space, and they get their therapies, they get their nursing care provided. Mom and dad get that break and get to kind of have that normalcy and maybe return to work. But most of all, those kids are included. They get to be a happy kid. They get to have that typical childhood and just be around their peers. And we've seen kids excel and exceed some of those milestones that were put on them, and because they had that space.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Thank you very much. There you go. You want to help that and put a smile on your face? Grab a cookie. Tim Hortons from today until Sunday. It is, well, you don't need me to tell you. Just come and taste one. They're great.
Thank you very much, Mike. Keep on smiling.
Matt Scooby in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Talladega. And how about Carson, host of our, picks up his first career series victory. And check out the celebration. Sitting on the door, steering the car down the front stretch to salute the fans. A true don't try this at home kids moment. Never before seen in NASCAR, and maybe never again. The 23-year-old then sticks his car against the wall, does a little burnout, still hanging out the side of the car. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we have a trio of NBA playoff games. First up, the Pistons take on the Magic, then the Thunder face the Suns. Later, the Timberwolves square off with the Nuggets. A whole lot of Canadian content for those games. It all begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Here's a good reminder, if you needed one, not to leave food out on your porch. Video captured from a collar-mounted camera on a Connecticut bear shows a burly burglar sniffing around, then snatching a bag of Doritos right from the back porch. State's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has been outfitting bears with cameras to gain more insight into their intrusive behaviors, like this one. Apparently, bears like Cool Ranch Doritos.
Okay.
This is what we've learned. This is what we've learned.
Good to know. I want to see more of this. I feel like I could sit around for hours and watch a live stream of a bear collar? The bear cameras. Yeah, I follow the Yukon wildlife cameras on Facebook. Everyone who migrations? Do this. Well, no, it just shows random trail cams in the Yukon, and you get to see what wildlife goes around on them. So I recommend that to everybody.
I like the eagle's nest ones.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for it to hatch.
Yeah, nature's little insights into nature.
All right, so now we go to question of the day. We're talking about candy. It's National what day?
National Gummy Bear Day.
Gummy Bear Day.
Which is funny because gummy bears, I think, one of those candies that I could take or leave. If it's there and there's nothing else, I'll snack on them. I don't hate them.
Gotta
but
enjoy a nice yummy gummy.
They're kind of filler candies, I think. Michelle's saying Laffy Taffy is a great candy. Those Halloween Kisses are the worst candy. Interesting. As for gummy bears, not high on my list.
Okay.
Kevin saying sour Skittles are the best. Interesting. I'm not big on sour
doesn't like the hot
candy.
cinnamon hearts. I like the hot cinnamon hearts.
Oh, you do?
They're not bad.
Interesting.
In moderation.
Donna and I are completely in sync this morning. The Lindt milk chocolate balls, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The worst sour candy.
Okay, so Keelian's a psychopath. She takes her candy, her sour candy, and she melts, she puts it in water and gets rid of all the sugar and then eats the gummy bear.
No.
So why don't you just buy a gummy bear?
Everybody needs to try this. I'm telling you. Go get Sour Patch Kids, put them in a mug, and put boiling hot water over the Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
So the sour sugar melts off of them, but they get all nice and gummy and warm.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your favorite candy and ruin it and eat it.
No.
That's what I want you to
I'm telling you, this is what you do. It's the best. They get all gummy and warm. It's amazing.
Okay.
Gary in Regina saying best candy for me is candy ginger. I don't think I've ever tried that. Have you guys?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it good? It's okay.
It's okay. You have to like ginger. Yeah.
Gary saying that the worst, any kind of licorice. I also not a fan of licorice. Sheldon from Wynyard saying the best is hot tamales and the worst is eat more. And Tanya saying the worst candy is Peeps.
Oh yeah,
at
Peeps
Easter.
are terrible. Peeps are rather.
I'm okay with Peeps.
I sell millions of them a year.
Just marshmallows.
Yeah, I'm okay on Peeps. And the best candy is the bears, worms, but also love me some Skittles.
Okay, so now if you think Keelian is weird for doing that, scan that QR code, send us a message, and agree with us.
No one thinks I'm weird.
Strange. That's strange.
No
don't
one
do
thinks
it.
I'm weird.
Just don't buy them.
It is. Nah.
How much money did this scam cost you?
$172,000.
Determined to help his family, disabled veteran and volunteer Craig Wilkinson started searching for information to grow his nest egg.
When I was younger, I figured the VA is going to take care of me. I'm doing fine like that. But then having 3 kids with my wife, I started thinking that I should have something for the future.
He said he clicked on an ad on Facebook that appeared to be from a legitimate financial firm, one he'd researched to learn about investing. It led him to this WhatsApp group. But scammers were impersonating real employees of the firm, offering daily classes on investing and stock market updates like this one. Craig said he was matched with a mentor named Emily. His initial investment, $5,500.
You thought you were communicating with a reputable investment firm the entire time. What kind of tactics were this person who went by the name Emily using with you?
The questions to get to know you. And then, how's your mom doing? Just one thing after another.
After 5 months and thousands of messages, Craig's investment appeared to grow to more than $3 million. But he said when he tried to withdraw some of that balance, he was told it would cost him more fees. Now, out about $170,000, he decided to contact state police and the FTC, who are working to potentially recover some of his funds.
Social media gives scammers the edge. They can target people based on their personal details, their interests, their shopping habits. The scams today seem much less scripted in many cases and more dynamic and customized to the individual that's being targeted.
Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
For your Monday morning mystery. 3 clues lined up, ready to go. Clue number 1 is this. The Oxford English Dictionary's definition is based on the literal meaning of a miniature carving on a gemstone. Clue number 2, in the late 20th century, the term has come to also refer to any short appearance by a well-known person in a film, television show, or video game. And clue number 3, the Italian word is relates to the precise, detailed nature of both the carving and the performance.
What?
I'm going to go with clue number 2 and hope that I'm right. I'm going with clue number 2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, but
Did you read my board?
No, I didn't. I think there's a website, right? Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, where a celebrity would send you a message?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Does that give it away to JD? I think that gave it away to JD.
Yeah.
We're going with Cameo?
Yeah.
Cameo all around? What do we got? The answer is
that right?
Cameo. Stan Lee was famous for a short cameo appearance in all Marvel movies. Fun fact. That's your morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, here's a look at your school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, the temperature just went up from -8 to -4, so that's nice to see. -3 through Saskatoon. By lunchtime, 1 degree in Regina, 2 degrees through Saskatoon, and by final bell, both cities at those expected afternoon highs. For Regina, that will be 3 degrees, and for Saskatoon, that should be about 4 degrees with increasing cloud cover and very low wind speeds. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The average price, $169.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $154.9. In Saskatoon, the average price, $161.4. You might be able to find it for as low as $158.3. Also taking a look at those farm markets now. The street price of canola is at $678.23 per ton this morning. The futures price at $729.80 per ton. The street price of amber durum wheat at $278.59 and red spring wheat at $291.95 per ton. The Canadian dollar trending up this morning at 73.11 cents US. After the break, the Pats Canadians returning home with a bronze medal from nationals. We'll give you the highlights. Stay with us.
Good morning. It is 7:29. Headlines for this part of the hour include this. Prime Minister Mark Carney scheduled to meet with his newly named Canada-U.S. Advisory Committee for the first time today. Carney is set to meet with council members, including former Conservative leader Erin O'Toole, former Nunavut Premier A.G. Agiacock, and Canada's most recent High Commissioner to the U.K., Ralph Goodale. Alongside with projecting a united front to Americans, the group will also look to set the tone ahead of the official renegotiations of the trade agreement set to begin on Canada Day. Iran has reportedly offered to end its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz without addressing U.S. concerns over its nuclear program. Shipping traffic in the strait remains snarled due to the Iranian restrictions and the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports. Sources say Iran has agreed to remove its restrictions in exchange for the U.S. lifting its blockade. The new Iranian proposal has reportedly been passed to the United States by Pakistan. A fragile ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran remains in place, but this weekend the president abruptly canceled plans for his top envoy's travel to Islamabad for negotiations. Ottawa has announced more than $8 million in funding for Saskatchewan to boost defense.
I think there's going to be many more companies looking at the opportunity around protecting our country of Canada.
Buckley Belanger there. The money will go toward 3 projects in the Yorkton area. The investment is part of Canada's commitment to meet NATO's defense spending target. For more than 20 years, his company's name has been on one of the buildings, the sports venues, the Brandt Centre. Now Sean Semple wants to go a little further, just making a bid on Friday, not only to own the arena, but most of Real's properties as well. Donovan Mace reports.
In a massive move to right the ship of Regina Exhibition Association Limited, the city has agreed to sell off a portion of the Real campus to Brandt Properties.
The scope of this
I would say, has never been done before, obviously with the size of the campus and the number of assets that are being sold.
The $6.5 million deal includes Brandt taking over possession of the Brandt Center, YQR Distillery, the AgX and Agribition buildings, and the operations of Real. As part of the agreement, Brandt would also assume operation of the Queen City X and commits to investing at least $15 million into the buildings within 2 years of the purchase, while the city would retain ownership of Mosaic Stadium, the Cooperator Center, Affinity Plex, and the Bungie International Trade Center. Now, if approved, Real's 700-plus unionized staff will be brought under the Brandt umbrella, and 50 out-of-scope employees are expected to be offered jobs or be provided severance if they are terminated. City administration projects the sale would save $73 million in maintenance and provide $85 million in value to taxpayers.
We're fortunate, I think, as taxpayers, that we have someone willing to put their own private investment into this and take the risk to make this go. Because, like I said, these buildings operate mostly commercial activities.
In an email to CTV News, Brandt says it has been working with the city and Real to explore options related to the future of the district, adding it would not comment further as council reviews the report. Mayor Chad Baczynski also declining to comment until after council discusses the matter publicly. Now, the sale is still subject to both Real and Brandt Board of Director approvals and requires the final say from Regina City Council. The agreement will be first in front of councillors Wednesday at Executive Committee, and if it passes there, will go to City Council for another vote on May 6th. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
State funeral will be held for former Lieutenant Governor Von Solomon Schofield. She died after a short illness at the age of 82. Service was held at Living Hope Alliance Church on Saturday. She served as Saskatchewan's 21st Lieutenant Governor from 2012 to 2018. Before that, she was the provincial chair of the Canadian Forces Liaison Council and served as an honorary colonel of the 10th Field Artillery Regiment.
It has been overwhelming, but such a relief to have the protocol office and the lieutenant governor's office take this on, and it absolutely exceeded all of my and my family's expectations, the way that they put this together, and I'm kind of speechless. It's going to take a little while to absorb it.
Would be marked.
In 2013, she established the Military Service Pin, which has been awarded to more than 8,000 active or former military members. To kick off Western Canadian women's football season, the Regina Riot hosted the Saskatoon Valkyries on Sunday. Beat the Riot 15-7. Staff say they're excited for the season ahead. Fans filled the bleachers. The team encourages people to come out and support them.
These women out here playing are awesome. Like, they don't just play football. They're moms, they're students, they're people that work in different professions. So they really deserve to have some fans in the stands and people out there cheering for them.
The Saskatchewan Ovarian Cancer Society's group was there with the Regina Riot, fundraising for research through 50/50 sales throughout the season. The Regina Pat Canadians are bringing home a bronze medal from the 2026 TELUS Cup.
Schultz and Hugh and Gardner out still, scored!
Maddox Schultz led the way with 2 goals, 2 assists as the Pat Seas beat Kelowna 6-2. The team from Quebec was the eventual winner, the Chevalier. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Bob sent in this photo, Kayleen, of a Memorial Lake melt. He says, can't wait to get the boat in. This was sent in last week early. I don't know where the state of this lake is now, but not safe to go on if it's got a little ice.
Yeah, absolutely not. Stay away from that and stay safe. And we're going to continue to see a melt today. As we look outside, though, you can see that temperatures were just a little bit warmer through Regina yesterday compared to Saskatoon, because we're still seeing a lot of that snow on the ground in Saskatoon. We are going to be seeing that melt today, though, with temperatures today expected to be just a little bit warmer through Saskatoon compared to Regina, only by about 1 degree or so. Currently out there right now, we're still seeing a chilly morning to start us off. You can see some of that pink color up north, dark blue for the rest of the province. Typically, we would like to see this time of year more of that light blue color or even some of that green color indicating positive positive temperatures. So again, definitely still grabbing a jacket on your way out of the door, but we're not seeing what we saw last week. -5 to wake us up in Stony Rapids, -7 through Buffalo Narrows and La Ronge this hour, -6 through Nipawin, -2 through Hudson Bay and Spiritwood. Down in the south, again, seeing a chilly start to the day. -5 in Kindersley, -5 as well in Moose Jaw and Swift Current and Weyburn as well. -6 through East End, -3 through Assiniboia, and -4 in Estevan. Again, in Saskatoon this hour, we're still at -3 and Regina at -4 to start us off. Later on into the afternoon, seeing about 4 degrees for the Battleford, Saskatoon, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. So still going to continue seeing that melt today. 3 degrees for Swift Current, 3 degrees for Regina, 6 degrees for Weyburn, and 7 degrees through Estevan. So again, the temperature is definitely an improvement from what we were seeing last week when we were seeing a lot of those temperatures in the negatives. But keeping in mind that what we would typically be seeing this time of year is between 14 to 15 degrees across the province. So still below that. We're going to take a look at the warm up that we'll be expecting by the end of the week in just a moment. I'd also like to point out to you, though, that winds significantly improved from what we were seeing last week with those really strong wind gusts. We're seeing very low wind speeds in many places across the province today. A lot of places not even seeing any gusts at all, so we're not seeing that color lighting up our screen. Towards eastern Saskatchewan, seeing more of that color. Should be starting the day with a few gusts and then tapering off into the afternoon. The warm-up is on the way. Should be right around seasonal average by about Thursday to Friday. Friday in Regina, you do see that rain icon there. It's only about a 40% chance as of right now. We're going to keep you updated on that, but it could be some periods of sunshine in the middle of some stop-and-go rain. In Saskatoon, again, seeing those temperatures going up by the end of the week. You don't see any precipitation in this 5-day forecast. That's in the 7-day forecast.
Welcome back to the program. It is 7:41. A year after the Holy Rosary School was demolished in Regina, community members gathered to create ideas in an idea jam. What to do next with the land? Vision boards were placed around Regina's Early Learning Centre where members could place stickers on ideas they preferred the most.
Well, typically in processes like this, the City of Regina would run an exercise like this. This park in particular is not within the budget in the next budget cycle. There are no expectations for park upgrades. So the community, with the loss of the Holy Rosary School and the playground there, that was a real magnet for the community. So with that loss, we decided we'd take matters into our own hands and develop a community vision for the city parcel that is just next door to it.
Jennifer Fix, who you just heard from there, said that the community's volunteers will take what they learned from Saturday's planning and then detail a community vision report, which they will bring forward to the Cathedral Arts Festival this spring. Dozens of car enthusiasts across Saskatchewan were in Regina this weekend, showing off their brightest and most unique classic rides as part of the Majestic's 58th annual car show in Regina. More than 100 cars on display at the Bungie International Trade Center at Real District. Cars going as far back as the 1920s on display. Owners say lots of touch-ups and repairs were put into vintage vehicles, giving them new purpose.
That's a good show. Yeah, there's usually lots of new stuff every year, and yeah, we keep coming back.
It's nice having people, comment on it and just hearing people's stories about a car their dad might have had or their brother had, things like that.
The Majestic's Car Club of Regina was formed in the fall of 1962. More photos of vehicles showcased over the weekend can be found on our website, ctvnewsregina.ca. We look back at the 90s and what really got people talking back, hearkening for an earlier, simpler time before smartphones and social medias. Why? Well, Will Gans reports.
Look at this. This spring, the 90s have sprung all over again.
An Easter basket!
In fact, things are even starting to taste like it. Kellogg announcing the return of toys in some cereal boxes for the first time in more than a decade.
Look, we're all very impressed with Andy's new toy.
Toy?
T-O-Y.
toy. Featuring characters from one of the 90s highest grossing films, Toy Story, and the upcoming 5th installment of that franchise. Searches for 90s life going to infinity and beyond on TikTok this week, spiking more than 1,000%.
This stuff works in kind of 20-year cycles, and now we're getting this 90s nostalgia in fashion and culture.
And Love Story, JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, FX's most watched limited series ever on Hulu and Disney+, inspiring a 90s fashion frenzy of its own.
We all think we're Carolyn Bessette.
All part of a larger trend of brands putting 90s-era faves back on the market. Landlines, like the popular tin can, surging in popularity, along with transparent tech. And remember inflatable furniture? Well, now IKEA's given that an upgrade worthy of 2026 as well. But what is it about the 90s that we crave so much we're splurging on it?
Looking back to those simpler days, even if it was just the 90s, and it's a familiar enough time that, we remember pre-phones, just how things were different culturally, and I think people are kind of hungry for that.
Or as Summer Kenson, the creator behind the holiday classics, puts it, you know why we're so nostalgic? It's our way of borrowing calm from another time.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Brushworks Art Show and Sale is on April 30th and May 1st to 2nd at 10 a.m. It's being held at the Art Gallery of Regina. For more information, you can go to brushworksartguild.ca. Plants and Pot Sale is on May 2nd at 10 a.m. It's being held at the Emmanuel Anglican Parish. For more information, you can reach out to special.events@whitmorepark.ca. And the Spring Tea is on May 2nd at 1 p.m. It's being held at the Harmony United Church. For more information, you can call 306-537-6984. Comedy Night is on May 2nd at 6:30 p.m. and May 3rd at 10:30 p.m. It's being held at Regina Performing Arts Center. For more information, you can call 306-550-6367. You can submit your event to our community by visiting our website at ctvregina.ca and clicking Community Calendar, or scan that QR code on your screen.
April 27th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated happy birthday going out to Heidi. She turned 25. Here's to another year of wonderful memories. We hope your day was awesome. Also celebrating over the weekend was Shelly. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy being 1 year older. This shout out coming from your Uncle Dave and Auntie Gina. Another belated happy birthday wish going out to Kimberly. She was celebrating yesterday. We hope it was the best birthday yet. A lot of love coming your way from your mom and dad. And a belated happy birthday wish also going out to Zara. She turned 26 years old over the weekend. You have a whole lot of love coming your way from your family. Have a great year. And for today, a big happy birthday going out to Marie Hart. It's her 96th birthday. We hope it's a great day for you, Marie. Enjoy your special day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least 1 day in advance.
Let's follow the lead and head back to Salsa Colada with Janelle Lepie. Good morning, dancers.
Good morning. I have Giuliani and Kaysen back with me, and a very special appearance from camera operator Ashley. It's going to be a great morning here, as you can tell. Now, spring classes are starting this week. How can people get signed up for those?
Well, we have the website is ready for registrations at www.salsacolada.ca.
Awesome. Okay, so we've actually got a sneak peek for everybody to see maybe something that they could be learning in these spring classes, and Ashley's going to be a part of it too. So let's get started.
So why don't we do a little couples work? Okay,
All right.
Our frame, left arm, elbows out.
Okay.
Shoulders, yeah, there you go. And don't rest on your partner, because otherwise it can be painful. And we're going to do the bachata step that we just learned.
Okay.
And we're going to do 3 counts of that and then a turn. How is that?
Perfect.
Okay, so 5, 6, 7, and 1. And 2, now turn, and 3, and 4.
That was amazing.
1, and 2, turn, and 3, and 4.
I hope you're seeing us, Daryl.
And 1, and 2, turn, 3, and 4, and we're gonna be turning all day. And 2, turn, 3, and 4. Nice.
Yay, well,
that looks really sharp.
Awesome. And of course, it helped because I had the best dance partner in the entire world. Ashley, thank you so much for having us here this morning.
Thank you very much for having us. And yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody in our small community here. We're a local, small woman business owned, and we take a lot of pride in what we provide.
Yeah.
As far as classes go, we pretty much are just here to have fun and build community.
That's right, and having fun is something we definitely have here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again, that is Salsa Colada here in Regina. A lot of fun. You can learn some of these dance moves too.
It's literally the best dancing I've ever seen out of Janelle. Sometimes she dances in the office and it's like the robot. It's...
Robot's always, that's a key one.
Yeah.
That's the winner right there. If you don't know how to dance, go to the robot.
If that's what you meant to do in the first place, but it's not for her. What's going on, Chase?
Well, we're getting excited. I know the workday hasn't even started up for a lot of people out there. It's Monday, but we're fast forwarding all the way to the weekend. It is going to be our Glow Pitch tournament. It is Saturday. It is Sunday at the Highland Curling Club. Now, if you're not one of our teams coming down to play, still come and check it out at the Highland Curling Club and get in on some of the great raffle prizes, too. We have a signed puck from Josh Morrissey of the Winnipeg Jets. Vladdy Guerrero from the Blue Jays signed us up a nice little pitcher to give away, too. Some Country Thunder tickets, bunch of prizes will be sitting on that raffle table. All money raised will be going towards Telemiracle 2027. And it's the last week, too, to get that Whiskey Business Burger. We made it earlier on in the month at the Paddy Wagon, and go order that with proceeds going to the tournament.
So much, Chase.
Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Canadians are used to seeing movie ratings that help them decide what to watch. You get PG, parental guidance, right? R's restricted. But Saskatchewan has decided to ditch that old rating system and move to a whole new way of informing movie watchers. CTV's Alison Bamford with what prompted the change.
A small keepsake of a night Craig Silliphant won't soon forget.
I think it created something really special and put a lot of magic into the world that night.
Earlier this month, he screened his first film as a director at Saskatoon's Broadway Theatre, a documentary exploring a cultural moment in the city's history.
It was impossible to avoid this commercial.
But before the premiere, the film needed an age-based movie rating, mandatory under Saskatchewan government legislation, at a cost of $440.
My film specifically was a zero-budget film. $440 was actually the biggest thing that I had to pay for on the film.
A price that, in the past, prevented some independent films from playing in theaters.
It'll be that much easier to get Saskatchewan independent filmmakers' works up on our screen.
This month, the province changed its rating requirements. Now it's up to the theaters to create their own advisories. Instead of PG-13 or 14A, moviegoers will see detailed descriptions warning viewers of explicit content.
I think it's important to us that we inform our community of everything we're putting on our screen.
Experts say it could lead to inconsistent advisories from theater to theater, but it updates an antiquated system.
It modernizes the idea of rating a film in an age of streaming, where streaming don't have these similar kinds of ratings.
The change comes as Saskatchewan enters what could be its busiest production season in years.
I think we're going to see some movies made here that hopefully will take advantage of this.
Opening the door for local storytellers to share their voice. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Sidebar time. We begin with a patient pup.
Gentle.
Not an accurate portrayal of a golden retriever in my experience.
Not as patient in your house?
No, he'll try to take that eventually.
Eventually, but this is a very well-trained pooch.
Must be getting more treats after this.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
Let's look at this one. It's going to blow your mind. We all know that maple syrup is delicious, but did you also know that it's beautiful? So this is what maple syrup looks like under a microscope. The sugar sample is from Montreal and shows colorful crystals dancing around for the eye to see. No wonder Canadians are so happy. This is running through our veins.
Are we happy? Are we all happy?
I mean, I would be happier.
Happy adjacent?
Are you sure?
I would be happier if I had maple syrup in my system right now, but I skipped breakfast. Actually, I tried to have a cookie and I spilled it down my dress this morning, so.
Well, at least it didn't have maple syrup on it. That's it. We have to go to commercial break because Director Corey says, get out of here. Time out. We're back after this. Good morning. It's Monday, April 27th.
My thought was, I've been through this before a couple of times, and she has not to this extent. But she handled it great. I mean, she's very strong, smart.
U.S. President Donald Trump said he wasn't worried as sounds of gunfire rang out during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Tensions continue to rise as the peace talks in the Middle East grind to a halt.
Schultz and Pugh. Gardner out still, scored!
Canadians not bringing home the medal they want, but they do have one. We're back with more Your Morning Saskatchewan in just a moment. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
Did I not see 20s in the forecast for some point
Sure
this week?
didn't. I don't know what forecast you were looking
man,
at.
my app
19.
yesterday.
19 degrees by the end of the 7-day forecast. So close.
So close.
Yeah, no, but temperatures are at least in the positives today. That's better than what we were seeing last week.
Then I'll wear shorts and get a Slurpee, and then it'll all go back to winter. It seems to be how it is. Let's get to news. The suspect in Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting is expected in court today.
Christian, a believer, and then he became an anti-Christian, and he had a lot of change. He's been going through a lot based on what he wrote.
U.S. President Donald Trump gave some more details on the suspect during an interview with 60 Minutes on CBS. The suspect has been named as Cole Thomas Allen. The U.S. Attorney General said early findings suggest Allen was targeting members of the Trump administration, with the president also, quote, likely a target. Allen had also allegedly written an anti-government manifesto shortly before the shooting. He's expected to be formally charged during his court appearance today. King Charles III is heading to the U.S. for what's shaping up to be the most high-profile trip so far of his reign, with a focus on strengthening the long-standing relationship. The state visit comes as the U.S. marks 250 years since declaring independence from Britain, and for King Charles, it's a chance to reflect on how the two countries have gone from former rivals to close allies with deep military and economic ties. Charles, along with Queen Camilla, will kick off a 4-day trip on Monday, which is today. The visit includes a private tea with the U.S. president before an address to Congress, a state dinner, and stops in New York and Virginia. Saskatoon police investigating that city's 6th homicide of the year. Jeremy Dodge, what do we know so far?
Well, Daryl, officers were called to the 2200 block of 22nd Street on Friday. There was a report of an injured person, and they found a 55-year-old man who was unresponsive. He was taken to hospital, but he died a short time later. Saskatoon Police Major Crimes is investigating. That's all the info we have so far. A local powerlifting meet showcased the skills of two athletes in their 80s. Hallie Mandrick has this story.
The Mackey Physiotherapy Powerlifting meet proved that the sport is truly for all ages.
They go, wow, look at that really old dude, he's doing it. And I think maybe in their minds it's like, if he can do it, I can do it till I'm 80. So I'm planning on doing this till I'm 100.
89-year-old Joyce Hansen and 80-year-old Barry Gay took the event as an opportunity to showcase the hard work they've each been putting in. Both Gay and Hansen say powerlifting has become an important tool to stay healthy as they get older.
As you age, you lose everything. So I work out to maintain my mobility, my flexibility, and probably the most important thing as you age is your balance. As well as having severe osteoporosis, I have increased my bone mass to the point where I don't need medications.
The event organizer says powerlifters like Hansen and Gay are proof that the sport is for everyone.
It's not just a sport for young people. I think it's so important to show that not only you can, but that maybe you should, even if it's not on the platform at an event like this, but that you can still go into the gym, lift weights, and get stronger. And I think what we have today is just a perfect example of that.
While the impact on physical health is an important aspect to the sport, Gay says powerlifting has benefited his mental health as well.
And you go, oh my gosh, this is not going to move. It's not going to lift. And then it moves a fraction of an inch. And you go, maybe it's going to move. And you keep pushing. You push harder and push harder and push harder. And it gets to the top and you get the okay. And then you did it. And just go, I did it. It usually brings tears to my eyes.
Hansen says she's learned a lot since taking up the sport 12 years ago and shared some advice for anyone looking to stay healthy as they get older.
Just get up and move, whatever it is. If you just want to walk, walk. If you want to lift some weights, lift weights. Just move.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Some truly impressive specimens there. Daryl, flying could look a little different for some travelers very soon.
Yeah, it sure could. Air Canada, now the first Canadian airline to offer lie-flat seats on smaller aircrafts. The airline says it now has 30 new single-aisle planes that will come with 14 lie-flat seats. Passengers will be able to recline 180 degrees to fully horizontal beds. The seats will be offered in signature class. These new aircraft will also be capable of flying longer routes. The airline says the planes will soon be in use across the Atlantic from Montreal and Toronto and will become a key staple in North American transcontinental markets. Following countries like Australia and Brazil, Manitoba's premier says his government will ban children from using social media and AI chatbots. That's people under the age of 16. Premier Wab Kinew says the platforms contribute to anxiety and depression and hurt young people's development. He didn't share details of the plan. Earlier this month, Culture Minister Mark Miller federally said Ottawa is seriously considering a social media ban for kids. And this may very well be the last time Manitobans change their clocks.
The idea of us changing the clocks twice a year, I think that day is past. We're in Manitoba almost certainly at the end of that. We are going to do a consultation over the next few months to get people's perspective.
So if you're keeping track now, none of it's not going to change their clocks. BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan never has, well, hasn't since the 1960s. And Manitoba is going to join the queue. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew says the government wants to understand whether Manitobans prefer standard or daylight time. Daylight's what they're on right now. He indicated that first he wants people to understand the health implications. Alberta, of course, is the most recent to pass to look at passing legislation, rather. Dozens of car enthusiasts across Saskatchewan were in Regina this past weekend, showing off some of the classic cars. It's the Majestic's 58th annual car show in Regina. More than 100 cars on display at the Bungie International Trade Center. Cars going back as far as the 1920s on display.
That's a good show. Yeah, there's usually lots of new stuff every year, and yeah, we keep coming back.
It's nice having people, comment on it and just hearing people's stories about a car their dad might have had or their brother had, things like that.
The Majestic's Car Club of Regina was formed in the fall of 1962. We got a bunch of photos in a gallery up on our website right now. Tampa Bay has tied its series with the Montreal Canadiens in a 3-2 win.
Draw back out from Moser toward the net. Score! Hagel, who else? And the Lightning have the lead.
This one didn't go to overtime. Brandon Hagel gave the Lightning the lead with just over 4 minutes left in the game. Series now tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 happens Wednesday in Tampa. The Edmonton Oilers now on the brink of elimination in the first round after a 4-3 loss in Game 4 on Sunday night. That puck crossed the line. Unless you're an Oilers fan, then you're going to whine about it like I do about the 2004 Stanley Cup Finals when the Flames had a puck that also crossed the line, and we should have won the cup. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Let's give away some money, Kayleen.
Yeah, because you're definitely not still crying about something that long.
Nope.
Okay, wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is savings. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan the QR code popping up on your screen. Enter savings with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, let's turn our attention outside to the Queen City. It's a beautiful start to the day. It is a little bit chilly, so definitely still grab a jacket on your way out the door. We're still in the negatives. -2 right now. Winds have gone up, but only slightly, 15 kilometers per hour right now. The clouds have slowly been increasing this morning, so we are going to see a little bit of a cloudy day, more so through central Saskatchewan, though. -2 right now in Saskatoon. Winds still at 11 kilometers per hour. Winds are going to remain fairly low for your day today, so that's a nice treat, especially considering how strong they were gusting at the end of last week. Radar and satellite showing where we saw the last bit of that precipitation for our weekend, mainly down through the southeast corner of the province, right around Estevan. So again, we're still seeing some partially covered roads this morning. Take it slow if you're waking up with us from the southeast corner. Futurecast showing, though, that we don't have a lot going on right now in the province other than that cloud cover mainly through central Saskatchewan right now. Again, increasing throughout the afternoon. We do see some precipitation popping up in the form of some very, very light flurries in areas mainly in northern Saskatchewan. As we go into overnight, a lot of that precipitation does clear up, but we do have some more rain popping up on the radar tomorrow. This is at about 5:45 p.m. that you see it falling in areas right around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, maybe through the Parkland region as well, but it's not a large system. It's very scattered, very broken up, and it's not going to be any large amounts of rain. So we're not too concerned about that, especially because it does clear within a couple hours. Today's forecast looking below the seasonal average still, but at least we're in the positive temperatures, so we will be seeing some of that spring melt today. 4 degrees expected for the Battlefords, Saskatoon, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. About 3 degrees expected for Swift Current and Regina, and 6 degrees expected for Weyburn, 7 degrees for Estevan. So seeing the warmer temperatures today down through that southeast corner where we saw the last bit of that precipitation yesterday. 7-day forecast looking pretty good, especially as we look towards the end of this work week. We get up to 19 degrees by Friday in Regina. We are expecting a little bit of drizzle. You still will be seeing the sun on that day. It's not going to be raining all day. Right now, we're observing it at about a 40% chance of seeing those that drizzle. So we'll keep you updated with that. 13 degrees on Saturday and 14 degrees by Sunday. In Saskatoon, also looking to be peaking around 19 degrees by Friday with mainly sunny skies, dropping down slightly on Saturday to about 13 degrees. Sunday morning is when we are seeing a little bit of some showers on the radar, but it should be clearing up by the afternoon.
This day in history, April 27, 1942, Canadians voted in the country's second referendum and approved military conscription for eligible men over the age of 18. April 27, 1986, the Ukrainian city of Pripyat was evacuated due to the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. And April 27, 1994, South Africa held its first general election in which black citizens could vote.
In case you missed it, let's check in on a competition of seagull imitators. You might not think it's real, but oh, it is, and it is loud. Yeah, this is the annual European Seagull Screeching Championship in Belgium. More than 70 participants from 15 countries taking part. They've done this now for 6 years.
Good.
Participants judged on how well they imitate the gull's sound and their behavior as well. It's an effort to help change the image of gulls, which many often view negatively, probably mostly because of how they sound. Ugh.
Yeah. So let's just say, we're all parents here. Your kid comes up to you and says, Mom, Dad, I want to follow my dreams. I want to be a seagull impersonator. What are you saying?
At least you're not the person in the short shorts holding the mic.
You say, follow your dreams, child, because they will soon realize that this is not a good path to take, and then find their own way.
Being a seagull impersonator ain't going to pay the bills.
Yeah.
It's question of the day.
No.
I think that was a unique sentence that's never been said before.
No, I don't know that it has.
I think I just strung words together for the first time.
Worst and best candy is what we've asked people today.
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of great answers today. Debbie's saying favorite is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Yum. I could go for about 12 of those right now.
Yep.
Least favorite is plain old white peppermints. I still have those on my kitchen table.
Did anybody say you were strange for melting the sugar off of...
No one thinks I'm strange. No one
Sour
thinks...
Patch
Did anyone
candies?
support you, though?
Yeah.
No support either. People are just like, we're going to let Kaylee do her own thing.
Yeah.
We're just going to...
It's Monday. Let's not taint her entire week.
It's a canon event. We cannot intervene. Dorothy's saying the worst candy are black licorice, and the best, the nickel candy back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I remember nickel and penny candy. Yep.
Yeah.
5 cent candies. Heck
Sheena's
yeah.
saying Sour Patch Kids are the best, black licorice, the worst. Ick. Lori, I want to say that Lori mixed these up because she said she loves red licorice, but the worst would be Skittles. What do you mean?
What?
Maybe that's how she feels.
Nobody thinks that.
Nobody thinks that. Lori, what?
No.
Pam saying best candy Sour Patch Kids and fuzzy peaches, but do you melt the sugar off it?
No.
Worst, black licorice.
No.
Black licorice is getting a lot of hate today. I can't believe how much love the Tiger ice cream got a few weeks ago because of this. And Christine saying the gummy bear is the best, the sour candy is the worst.
And just for fun, health news is on the other side of this short break.
A 15-year-old boy in Alabama is battling bone cancer, and he made a plea for an experimental cancer drug on his mom's Facebook page. Well, wouldn't you know it? That post went viral. Ian Alfano spoke with the boy's family.
Can y'all please just share this, like everything y'all can do to help get this video out to either President Donald Trump or Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
That was the video posted where Will Roberts, a Ralph native, is requesting access to a drug called Deltarex G that could save his life or even the lives of others.
Chances are this is probably the end of the road for me, and they probably won't get it in time, but if this can help other kids with my cancer, I would love to help in any way I can.
Will says the chemo isn't working anymore, and what was supposed to be an off week, well, it's turned into more traveling.
You know, this is the third day this week that we're heading to Children's because of low counts and nosebleeds and, other complications.
I spoke with the family as they were on their 100-mile drive to Children's of Alabama Hospital in Birmingham.
From a parent's aspect, you're just getting by day to day in hopes that this miraculous treatment will advance in the time that you're allowed to fight every day.
Will's parents tell me Deltarex G cannot be produced overnight, and the public video that Will made, it wasn't planned. He did it because he knew his parents were exhausting every option.
The kid is absolutely incredible, and, we're just very blessed to call him ours.
Jason and Brittany tell me they've heard from lawmakers, even celebrities like Dr. Oz. For Will, he's had to take a break from the things that he loves.
I'm not getting to go fishing with this chemo that I'm on right now, buds right now, and it's like my favorite thing to do is fish.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, let's check in with Mike Siona once again, wrapping up our morning at Tim Hortons.
Each one of those Smile cookies are unique, that's for sure. I'm here with Stephen Erickson now at Roadways Literacy Academy inside Tim Hortons. Smile Cookie Week is upon us. It's the 30th year that this campaign has been running in some capacity in the country, and here in Saskatchewan, obviously a big day. Talk to us first and foremost just about these cookies and how cool it is that they're all so unique.
These cookies are all decorated by staff and volunteers that come and help out, so they're all done by hand and done a little bit differently and unique, so that's pretty exciting to see which style you get.
I think I like this one with the eyes that are stacked one on top of each other. It's so much fun. Here, I'll grab the other half of this here for you, Stephen, because we want to talk to you about Roadways Literacy Academy. Obviously, you guys are one of the two charities that are benefiting from Smile Cookies here in Saskatoon and Martensville. Tell us about what you guys do for people who may not know.
At Roadways Literacy, we teach kids with unique learning needs, like dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and help them with their confidence and get them back on track and teach them to read and do math.
No doubt about it. Now, obviously, this campaign raises big money. I think last year you guys were somewhere around $86,000 that was raised from this campaign, and it's helping to fund some expansions. Tell us what's next.
We just took on another 3,000 square feet of space, so we're working at putting furniture in there, some flooring, some desks, some classrooms, and we're going to have 3 more classrooms, so we'll pick up some of the people off our waiting list and be able to keep growing.
Fantastic. And we could keep growing. I think these are calorie-free officially, but it doesn't matter. The calories from these are nowhere near as impactful as the money that is raised. They're $2 each, or a dozen for $24. And the money in Saskatchewan stays in Saskatchewan with the charity partners. And, of course, they differ from region to region, which is so cool. Thanks for a couple of minutes, Stephen. And, yeah, you've got until Sunday to get your Smile cookies. We want record-breaking totals, so I hope you're hungry.
Living with diabetes is a constant, complex journey, and the Pub Couture Fashion Show is aiming to showcase the resilience of people living with diabetes while also changing the conversation surrounding the condition. Joining us this morning is a youth model living with type 1 diabetes, Hartley Halverson, and her dad, Dustin, a committee chair for the event. Good morning to you both, and thank you for your time.
Thanks for having us.
So, Dustin, I'm going to come over to you first. Talk to us a little bit about your family's journey with type 1 diabetes and when Hartley was diagnosed.
Yeah, she was only 2 years old and our first child. So I think the big message we want to get out now is just for anybody who's watching their kids grow, if they become extremely thirsty and urinating a ton, just check in with your doctor, because that is the most common sign, and we want to raise that awareness because it can be really dangerous if you don't catch it and diagnose it early. So yeah, we've had this journey since she was 2. She's 9 years old now, and she's been thriving with it.
So we just said, though, it's a very complex journey. What is it like in everyday life?
Yeah, the analogy I give is that if you have a kid with type 1 and a kid without walking down a Saskatchewan back road, Hartley has to kick a rock every few steps, and that's like a finger poke or check on her phone, monitor everything that she eats and enter it into her insulin pump. Can't be wrong in that, because if you go low or you're high, it can cause issues. So, I mean, it is just a constant worry. It's like having an extra back burner on the stove that you're always living with and thinking about. And if not taken care of, it can be very dangerous.
All right, let's talk about that Pub Couture Fashion Show that's coming up in support of people living with type 1 diabetes. Hartley, you are a youth model. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the show? Because this isn't your first time being a youth model.
My favorite part about the fashion show is walking down the runway and listening to my music and picking out an outfit that I got to choose.
And the roar of the crowd, that must feel good, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's all in support of D1 camp programs. Have you been to camp?
Yeah, I've been there 2 times.
And what do you think of the camps?
They're really fun, and you get to do crafts and make friends with diabetes and go in the water and on trampolines, and like water trampolines. And you also
You learn more about living with type 1 too.
And There's also a forest, and you can make shelters there.
Wow. All right. So again, the Pump Couture Fashion Show is happening this weekend. It's going to be a wonderful time. When is it happening, Dustin?
Yeah, it's Saturday night. It's at the Connexus Arts Center. There's still tickets available. We moved to a bigger location this year. So anybody who wants to have a great night out on Saturday or knows somebody with type 1, please come out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning. I really enjoyed having you. Good luck walking in your fashion show. I'm sure the crowd is going to go wild. If you want to head there, again, there's still tickets available. Diabetes.ca/pumpcouture is where you can go to grab your tickets.
About 8:30 on your Monday. Thank you for being with us. Nearly 1 year after Mark Carney became Prime Minister, Canadians appear to be evenly split when it comes to how they feel he's performed in his first year in power. An Angus Reid survey conducted just days after Carney secured a 174-seat majority in the House found that 41% of Canadians felt Carney's government had met or exceeded its election promise expectations, with the same number saying it had failed to do so. Nearly 2/3 of Canadians felt that the Carney government had met or exceeded expectations when it came to improving Canada's international reputation. 57% thought the same way when it came to managing Canada's relationship with the U.S. Canadians did have some concerns. More than 2/3 felt the government fell short when it came to improving housing, affordability, and addressing the high cost of living. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling on the Liberals to get deficit spending under control.
As Conservatives is to cut waste and bring down the cost of government so that we can lower the cost of living.
And the budget will be...
Poilievre is demanding the Liberals cap the federal deficit at $31 billion by scrapping projects such as the proposed high-speed rail line and the gun buyback program. Over the weekend, Poilievre called on Liberals to suspend all federal fuel tax for the rest of the year. It's not just oil tankers backing up in the Strait of Hormuz. Vessels carrying fertilizer are also stuck, leading to rising prices. And that puts more pressure on Canadian producers, including potato farmers in PEI. Maria Saru reports.
On this grading line, potatoes keep rolling, but so do the signs of last year's drought. The team is sorting out defects, and farmer Guy Cudmore says one variety is showing rot he believes could be tied to last year's dry weather. Overall, his crop is down about 30%.
We just slow the process down. You put more people on because you have to try to do a good job. It's certainly going to hurt the bottom line.
Adding to the strain is the Iran war. Fuel to run tractors costs more. The price of fertilizer is climbing too. While some island suppliers purchased product last year, the next bill could be bigger for farmers. And while supply was lower here, across North America, it stayed strong, putting downward pressure on prices.
Farmers are going to have to suck it up.
The PEI Potato Board's Greg Donaldson says growers across PEI saw similar yield losses. Climate change remains one of the industry's biggest challenges, and farmers have spent years improving soil health, rotating crops, and trying drought-resistant varieties.
There's been a lot more interest in looking at supplemental irrigation so long as it can be done responsibly.
He adds, spring brings a reset, a chance to adapt and start again. For Cudmore, that starts here, getting this variety through the line before the next crop is in the ground.
Cudmore plans to start planting in early June, and while he's anxious about the season ahead, he's also hopeful it'll be a better one. Maria Saru, CTV News, North Winslow, Prince Edward Island.
Tensions in the Middle East continue to drive gas prices high, as you know. Even in an oil-rich country like Canada, there's been little relief at the pumps. Kathy Lee reports.
The cost of doing business is rising for Sukdeep Dadian. With fuel prices remaining high, every trip is costing him hundreds of dollars more.
We are already struggling with the tariffs, but now, after tariffs, it's the fuel, so very difficult time for the trucking.
Dadian operates several trucks for larger firms. He can't park them temporarily to save money, so he's cutting back on cross-border trips.
Due to the impact of fuel price, so we prefer to take the short routes, just keep the business running.
High gas prices driven by global tensions have persisted for weeks. An economist says even in an oil-rich country like Canada, prices remain exposed to global market swings.
The oil market is a globally integrated marketplace. The price that is set in the global market is the price that's used all throughout the world.
Perry Sidorsky says the International Energy Agency points to electric vehicles as a way to reduce the reliance on global oil markets. He adds limiting exports from Canada could also lower prices at home, but that would be politically difficult and cut into producer profits.
Consumers would be very happy. But producers would be very unhappy.
Another economist says boosting domestic production could help reduce Canada's vulnerability.
We would be more energy independent. That might decrease the volatility or our vulnerability, but it will not eliminate it because, again, it's a global market.
But experts say these are long-term solutions with little immediate relief. For now, Dadian is just trying to hold on.
I pray for the good future.
Hoping the price of gas comes down soon. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
A state funeral was held over the weekend for a former Saskatchewan Lieutenant Governor. Vaughn Solomon Schofield died after a short illness at the age of 82. A service was held at Living Hope Alliance Church on Saturday in Regina. She served as Saskatchewan's 21st Lieutenant Governor from 2012 to 2018. Before that, she was the provincial chair of the Canadian Forces Liaison Council and served as an honorary colonel in the 10th Field Artillery Regiment.
It has been overwhelming, but such a relief to have the protocol office and the Lieutenant Governor's office take this on, and it absolutely exceeded all of my and my family's expectations, the way that they put this together, and I'm kind of speechless. It's going to take a little while to absorb it.
Would be marked.
In 2013, she established the LG's military service pin, which has been awarded to more than 8,000 active or former military members. The Regina Pat Canadians are bringing home a bronze medal from the 2026 TELUS Cup.
Schultz and Pugh. Gardner out still. Scored!
Maddox Schultz had 2 goals, 2 assists as the Patsies beat Kelowna on Sunday for the bronze medal. The winners of the tournament, gold medalists, were the Chevaliers from Quebec. Let's turn our attention to one more great picture. Julie sent this in. Her grandson Grayson took this shot, recording some videos on his cell phone. Take a look at that. That's in Prince Albert, Kaylee, in the Blue Jays.
And that's just on a cell phone camera? That's a crazy good picture.
That is a very good picture, especially for a young man to take. That's awesome.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for sending that in. Here's your reminder that everybody can send in your photos to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. We would love to showcase them. All right, let's take another live look outside this morning through Saskatoon. A little bit more of that snow. We didn't see as much of that melt yesterday with those cooler temperatures. In Regina, we were into the positives yesterday, and we did see quite a bit of that melt from the system that we saw impacting us late last week and into the weekend. Today, we're going to be seeing some more of those positive temperatures, but we're not quite seeing those yet. The colors behind us here, not quite as much pink as what we were seeing this morning, and that indicates the colder temperatures. So things have been improving. The dark blue, though, is still indicative of very cool temperatures as well. We would hopefully be seeing more of that light blue color at this time of the year. -5, though, through Stony Rapids, -6 in La Ronge, -3 in Nipawin, and -3 in Melfort. Down in the south, -4 right now in Swift Current. We're seeing -2 now in Saskatoon and Regina. That's a little bit of an improvement from when we looked out about 30 minutes ago. 0 degrees now in Weyburn and -1 in Estevan, also seeing quite a bit of an improvement down through the southeast corner. Later on into the afternoon, the southeast corner is also where we're going to be seeing the warmest temperatures, still below the seasonal average. Again, that's about 14 to 15 degrees this time of year, but still we're going to be seeing that melt happening. 6 degrees for Weyburn, 7 degrees for Estevan, 4 degrees for Yorkton and Saskatoon, Moose Jaw, and also Swift Current now projected to be at about 4 degrees, a slight improvement from, again, earlier this morning we were seeing about 3 degrees for Swift Current. 3 degrees, though, still for Regina this afternoon, and about 3 degrees for Prince Albert. low wind speeds this afternoon. Very nice compared to where we were at late last week with that late season storm. Not really seeing gusts in a lot of places. The winds are just going to be coming in very low today. The southeast corner seeing the strongest gusts this morning, and then tapering off for the afternoon. The peak for the 7-day forecast is going to be on Friday, where we see 19 degrees for Regina. We are seeing about a 40% chance right now of seeing just a very light drizzle on that day. We will keep you updated if that chance changes. In Saskatoon, no precipitation in the 5-day forecast. Friday looking mainly sunny with that 19-degree temperature. We are seeing a little bit of precipitation in the 7-day forecast, though. That's likely coming on Sunday morning and then clearing out for your afternoon.
Police have charged a suspect in an ongoing homicide investigation in Regina. This just coming into our newsroom now. 29-year-old Blaine Okaseum is charged with second-degree murder after a search warrant was executed on Friday in the 1600 block of Toronto Street. It happened, the death, in the 1:15 in the morning area around the 13th of April on the 3100 block of 5th Avenue. The victim, 36-year-old Miles Anderson, was declared dead on scene. The suspect will be in court this morning.
Well, the true crime genre has exploded in popularity, but what if the stories we're drawn to most are actually giving us the wrong picture of who goes missing and why? Joining us this morning is Dr. Lorna Ferguson from the University of Regina, whose new book challenges what we think we know about missing persons cases. Good morning, and thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to start by just letting you introduce your book in your own words.
The book is called Missing Persons Beyond Serial Killers and Unexplained Disappearances, and the title is exactly what the book does. What we know about missing persons is typically produced or consumed or understood through media and true crime content. The book is here really to pull back the curtain beyond that tiny little bit that we can see, and it involves interviews with police and search and rescue volunteers, work with families and loved ones, my research journey over the last 10 years doing work on missing persons in the field, and nearly 25,000 different missing persons cases that I've worked on over the course of my career. It details what the reality of missing persons is, what the response looks like, what the community and family and loved one involvement looks like, and really what prevention and reduction could look like in this field.
Now, Dr. Ferguson, from what I've read so far, your book talks about missing persons cases as a continuum. What does that actually mean?
So again, when we look at what we see in terms of missing persons most publicly, we look at the mysterious disappearances, the serial killers, the homicide cases. But the reality for missing persons is that it is not really that. That makes up a very small proportion of the cases. When we look at the reality, the evidence-informed, data-informed reality, it can involve mental health crisis, people with cognitive impairment like dementia and Alzheimer's. It can involve people who go hiking and get lost, because the definition in Canada of missing persons is anyone who is not where they are expected to be. And so we have a continuum ranging from unintentional disappearances, which can involve those human trafficking or homicide scenarios. And then on the other side is those intentional disappearances involving people choosing to depart, choosing to leave their situation, choosing to escape. And so it's not one type of case. It is such a broad phenomenon. And that, again, is really the point of the book, is to look at all of these different types of cases along this intentional to unintentional continuum.
If we shift our perspectives, like your book is suggesting, what could prevention actually look like?
I love this question. When we talk about prevention, a lot of people kind of get confused or feel a little hopeless because it's a big social problem related to so many different social and health vulnerabilities. But the reality is prevention can look top up, meaning from the community level all the way up. And of course, we need top down. We need policymakers to take interest in this social issue. We need funding. We need resources. All of that is a big part of this conversation on prevention. But I like to have a moment to talk about what communities can do, because we can have a big impact here by paying attention. And so going missing is, at the most basic level, social disconnection. And so to prevent social disconnection, as in disconnecting from our social networks and people we love and the places we're expected to be, you be socially connected. And so at the community level, it means taking on care and noticing neighbors and noticing people in your community. So if you notice someone that might be experiencing mental health crisis, it's checking in on them, making sure they're doing okay so that they don't go missing to experience suicidal ideation. And so prevention for us, all of us, matters in terms of taking care of people in our community, noticing signs and symptoms of possible social disconnection, and really just being present so that we can stop people going missing and ultimately experiencing the possibility of serious harm.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. I wish we had more of it, but we really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's head back to the dance floor one more time. See what else Janelle Lipai has learned this morning.
All right, well, the fun is continuing, and I've got Giuliani and Kaysen with me. We are learning some more dance moves. What are we doing next?
We are going to do bachata. Bachata is one of the easiest dances, but they're so fun. They have 4 counts, tiny little steps, elbows out, and your hands just under your rib cage, just right here. Keep them nice and soft. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, small steps, and we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. The small steps allow you to move your hips.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're thinking of balance. Otherwise, if you're taking big steps, so tiny little steps, just let you do a lot more with your hips.
Daryl, I hope you're impressed seeing this. Look at the rhythm. Oh my goodness. So if somebody's interested in some classes so they can learn to do this, how can they do that?
Well, I teach ladies, and I teach ladies for beginners are my main classes. I also have intermediate classes in advanced. And if you have a partner that you would like to dance with, we do have the couples class. The only difference about my couples class and probably other couples classes in the city is that we focus on connection. So you bring your own partner and we do not switch. You dance with your partner the entire time. You get to, talk with him in ways that you probably don't talk with at home. So yeah, you just connect. And if you're a lady looking for a class that keeps you fit and it keeps your mental health nice and healthy, then our classes are here for you. We have a lot of fun in our classes. We use a lot of comedy. We laugh. And yeah.
Wow.
And we sweat.
And we sweat. I can tell this doesn't look like much, but I'm sweating already. Thank you both so very much for all of this fun this morning. Once again, that is Salsa Colada. That website is popping up on your screen for this interview. You can check things out.
Time for Why Do We Say That, where we learn why we say some of the popular sayings we do, maybe don't understand fully. Today's is red tape. Why do we say red tape? Let's first go out to Mike Siona for his guess. Mike?
Well, that's an easy one. Red tape is called red tape because bureaucracies are expensive, and so it keeps you out of the black and in the red when you have to go through all those levels of red tape.
Well, yes, I don't have a problem with that one. Let's see what Janelle says.
Okay, red tape. This is a really tough one, but we've done some brainstorming, and we think it has something to do with documents. So like a barrier or something in a document that you have to bypass to access the information? I don't know. That's my best guess.
Okay, so I think that back in the day, we had a lot of ledgers, right? The feather pens and the ink, and they were always bound together, or you kept your place with a red bookmark. So I'm thinking that's maybe on some legal documents.
My brain immediately went to like red as in stop.
Yep.
That's like this red stoplight, right? So
yeah.
I'm thinking red as in like no, don't look at this, and we're gonna tape it up, we're gonna hide it.
Jeremy?
I was thinking like police tape. Things that people don't want you to see are blocked off. Maybe it used to be red back in the day. I'm not sure.
Noel, let's find out.
Okay, so this one actually comes from the legal profession. And when we talk about tape here, when we say the word tape, we usually tend to think either of sticky tape, or we think of like videotape. But tape used to refer to any kind of ribbon that was used to line things up. So in the legal profession, all the documents that related to a particular case were tied together with red tape. Red tape means that there's a lot of paperwork involved, that the documents are fairly complicated, and that you're not going to have a settlement on your case terribly soon. The best instance of this comes from Charles Dickens and his 1853 novel Bleak House, which is, in part anyway, about a legal case, Jarndyce and Jarndyce, apparently based on a real case that was so convoluted and so complicated that it's been going for decades and nobody sees a way out of solving this. So, Dickens is satirizing this idea of once, your law case gets tied up in red tape, then it's you'll never see it again.
So what do you think? Am I the closest?
I'm not convinced that you didn't look it up beforehand.
I don't think I was bang on, but I was close.
I don't see it.
Okay. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Dad. That's why do we say that?
I could be the twist, the one to make you stop, the icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space. When did you get high? All of a sudden I could look you up and down all day. When did you get high? I think I would remember if you had a that face. 'Cause if you dance as good as you look right now, I just might make her my baby. I just might make her my baby.
Fifth grade students at an elementary school in Nebraska got to meet with their senior pen pals. Madison Smith was there.
It's a meetup that's been months in the making.
Writing a friendly letter is something in our curriculum, but I wanted it to have more meaning.
Fifth grade students from Central Elementary School met their senior pen pals for the first time on Friday after writing letters back and forth all school year.
It's been great getting to talk to her personally instead of just reading the letters. It's been fun.
It's a real joy to get to know students every year, to know what goes on in the world of a fifth grader and what they do and what their interests are.
The students and seniors exchanged gifts while chatting over pizza and cookies.
What did I bring you, Nora?
Oh, well, she brought me a craft coloring kit. That was, I think, really fun.
I learned that Nora loves crafts and I love crafts, so I brought her a little crafting kit.
They revisited some of their letters from the year and shared new stories.
She had to do chores and like she would get 25 cents and she would save up to buy a ring.
And buy potato chips and ice cream cones. It's just really interesting to see that I had to work and do my chores, but then I got a quarter. She has to work and do her chores and not get paid for it.
The conversations never lacked as the students and seniors spent their time together, showing that you can find something in common with anyone, no matter how old or how young.
That's another reason we started it, is just a cross-generational relationship. Some of them don't have grandparents, so yeah, they teach each other a lot.
What a neat idea.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Get a chance to write and meet, and that's just awesome. We got some sidebars for you to kick off this Monday. Well, there's a new standard in long-distance running after the 2-hour mark was broken at the London Marathon.
Boy.
Kenya's Sebastian Soe finished with a time of 1 hour, 59 minutes and 30 seconds. That's more than a minute faster than the previous record. He becomes the first person to run a sub-2-hour marathon in a competitive race. World record was also set in the women's race, by the way. An Ethiopian runner broke her own record with a time of 2 hours, 15 minutes and 41 seconds. And Jeremy, last week you missed robots running a marathon. It was hilarious.
And
I happened to watch that. I was watching that segment that morning.
The one that crashed over the barricade and shattered into a million pieces was my favorite part.
You watch us on your days off?
Oh, you missed us.
On my days off, I sleep in.
I wouldn't miss it.
You missed us. Oh.
If I'm up. Yeah.
All right, here's a good reminder to not leave food out on your porch. Video captured from a collar-mounted camera on a Connecticut bear shows the burly burglar sniffing and then snatching a bag of Doritos from a resident's back porch. The state's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has been outfitting area bears with the cameras to gain more insight into their intrusive behaviors.
I don't think the Ranger's going to like this,
I was waiting
Yogi.
for your joke about that.
Hey, boo-boo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.